Hello and welcome to phase 3 of my flight across North America from Seattle over to, Goose Bay before continuing across the Atlantic, bring this little aircraft back to the UK. So this stage I'm going to be flying from Calgary to Saskatoon. So let's get going. Yeah, it's a journey of a couple of hundred nautical miles, so I will be using some time compression this time. So let's get the fuel switched on, and we will get the power on. Wait for this to come to life. So, master on, fuel pump on. Give it a couple of seconds. Clear prop. The fuel pump can come back off again. Same to the right hand side. All looks clear. Start. Get us up to about 1,000 RPM-ish. Okay, fuel pump off. AV master on. I can take it off crossfeed now. Run the takeoff trim. Should really had some strobes on. Now, flight plan is from Calgary to CYXE. CYXE. Enter. Spelled that wrong. CYXE. So 278 nautical miles. I'm going to do a terrain. Don't think there's going to be any rain, but I'll turn that on anyway. Transponder to standby. Let's get a weather report.
Altimeter 3021. Advise on initial contact. You have information echo.
3021. 021. Okay. Turn those on. Wind displays on. We're going to be climbing up to 9,000 feet. I'll set that later. That'll probably reset the time of takeoff. Now, what? I should have got more of a
2135 Zulu. Arriving runways 17 right, 17 left. Departing runways 17 right, 17 left. Wind 070 degrees 7 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions scattered at 1,400. Temperature 20.
So 17 right. Flight plan. Program. Departure. That's not what I wanted. I'm just going to wing it. Okay. Alright, over here, so I've got 17. Right, okay. So I'm gonna have to taxi. So left turn down to EA. No, sorry, BC. Follow that round and then right turn. Okay, I'm gonna have to follow that. Okay, let's go. No, what I need to do is, so this is an FSEconomy flight again. I have no passengers, it's just a ferry flight. Okay, load it. Right, let's get going. Taxi lights on. Nobody about, so we'll go forward a little bit. Oh, should be the next line down, my bad. Okay, so flaps one stage down. Oil temperature's nearly up to temperature. So I'm going to do a left-hand turn here. And this should take me right down to the runway. Nice little ATR. Yet the ATR isn't in the game. So I can see the line coming up. And it will be a left-hand turn. Okay, let's do a quick check. Flaps are down. Turn on the landing lights. That's all on. Well, temperature isn't quite up to temperature, but it's close. 1 degree off, it's fine. So we're going to climb to 9,000 feet with 5,000 feet per minute climb rate initially. We're going to climb on a heading And we'll set our heading to 170 degrees. And then we'll change the nav once we get going. Let's get going. I'm just going to do a rolling takeoff from here. Speed's alive, 60 knots, 70 knots rotate. Positive freight gear up. Gotta nose over a little bit to get the speed up. There's 900 feet, autopilot on. We'll do a flight level change. I'm out at 90 knots. Get the flaps up. Slid a little bit off the runway heading. Oh, I know I was loud. Close those and put my headphones on. Oh yeah, that's much quieter now. I think I'm going to turn down the volume slightly. So turn off the landing lights. Now that's us up 13, no, that's us up at, yeah, nearly 2,000 feet. So let's go to nav and turn our heading. And we should intercept the GPS at some stage. So the high mountains are way behind us, so that should all be fine. Nope, still hasn't captured the GPS. Let's turn a bit further north. Don't want to go any further than that. I'm already flying over the airport. Come on, it should capture it anytime soon. Anytime now. Come on. There we go. Capture GPS. And we're almost at 9,000 feet, so we can turn off the taxi lights now. I am going to give this a second, and I might actually drop my altitude slightly if I'm going to be up in the clouds. And I suppose if I'm going to be up in the clouds, I should at least turn on some heating. Nope, I think that was just a little localized cloud, so that will do for now. Oh, that's too loud. Still very loud outside. Left to do. Okay, so that's us. I think I'll just go to the outside view and watch the flight for a while with a bit of time acceleration. I'll come back if there's anything interesting happens. So yet again, the lighting looks really funny. It almost looks as if the ground is lighting, so the light is coming from below rather than above. And the ground is really flat. I don't think there's any elevation data is loaded. It looks very flat. Anyway, let's have a look at all our engine stats. Everything looks good. So an ETA in 50 minutes. So what's that, 30, 15, about 12, 13 minutes with 4 times time compression. So I've locked my frame rate at 30 frames per second tonight. Previously I was trying to lock it at 60 and it was really jumpy as it went between sort of like 60 and 30 or 40. So it is a little bit blurry whenever I turn my head, but otherwise it's a lot more stable at 30. So I'm not 100% happy with the ground textures. They're good in detail, but it looks totally flat. But that might be, I don't know if that is true of this area. That kind of looks like they're little valleys with rivers. I'll have to check that out after this flight. But for being up in Canada, I wasn't expecting the terrain to be quite so flat. I suppose I've got a little nav map here that has the elevation profile. No, there's should have varying heights here, varying elevations. We are maybe just too high up to actually be able to see it. Also, all my trees haven't loaded. There's no vegetation, there's no buildings. I would almost say this is default scenery. Sort of doesn't look right. Do a quick Google Earth. Google Maps of, let's see, find Calgary. Okay, maybe fair enough. Google Maps just has all these little squares of fields and okay, it's maybe okay. Never flown here before, so I don't really know. I was expecting more hills and mountains. So we've got ground speed 193 knots. .8 minutes. So what's that? 30, 15, but 8 minutes. No, but 7 minutes. Okay, no, that looks like there's a bit of elevation change there along the river. So that's just very flat. Forgot to change my baro as well, but it doesn't really matter. So by 5 minutes. So what runway will we use? So our barometer is 30.22. Can't decide which runway to use. So I'm going to reduce my speed a bit here just to give me a second to think. Approaching my top of descent. I think I want to do a 27. I think I'll do a 27. So got the heading bug on, change to heading, OBS. $270. Now let's kind of no, we're a long way out. Now, where was my top of descent? Didn't put in a top of descent. So our airfield is, doesn't say there. Elevation 1,600 feet. feet. And let's go down to about we'll go down to 3,000. 2.5. And let's just start now nice and gently. Back to about 50% power. So let's descend at 1,600 feet. That seems a bit extreme. I meant to look up what the transition altitude was in America. I have a funny feeling it's really high. Either way, I should have had my lights on. So I'm holding a nice speed. Is that a train? Oh, it's traffic lights in the train line. So we're just going to slide in here, join the downwind, left-hand downwind, and go straight into land on 27. Just sort of behind us. No, sort of, it is behind us. I think I'm going to keep it up at about 3,000 feet. So there's 5, I'm getting fairly low. I'll maybe even do 4,000 feet for now. Yep, there's my 2,500 feet AGL. Leveled off, so push this back up to 90%. Our lighting's a bit better now. It doesn't look as if we're getting lit from below. Now, where is our local time? 20 past 4. Looks very dark to be 20 past 4 in the northern hemisphere. So we're less than 5 miles. Whenever this ring touches our line, I'm going to turn parallel. Which still means we're way wide. and we will drop to 2,600 feet. Interestingly, there is a plane on VATSIM is taking off the opposite way on this runway. That is not the way the wind suggests. So let's do a
Saskatoon Decent Bay for international information. Foxtrot 2200 Zulu. Arriving runway 09er. Departing runway 09er. Wind 050 degrees 9 knots. Visibility.
okay. So change of plan. Runway 09. Right, let's descend. Let's see if I can recover this. No, I'm gonna have to turn back on myself a little bit. So that's just down to flap speeds, give us a bit of power. I think I'll just disengage the autopilot, fly it in from here. So put landing gear down, full flaps, because I'm pretty close. Recovered. I'm a little bit high, but it's a long runway. We'll just float it out.
500. 400. 300.
So gears down, 3 green, flaps are down.
200.
We're holding it. Oh, we're just creeping up a wee bit from 90 knots.
100.
So come off the power and flare a little. There's a taxiway coming up on the right. So I haven't even touched the brakes yet. Double the brakes and turn it in gently. Landing lights off. No, I think we'll go down to the next one. Not sure where I'm supposed to go, so I'll just go over here. Lovely, and brakes on. Oh, brakes on. Cool. And that's us done. So, welcome to Saskatoon. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that badly. But that's where we are. And next time, I'll be flying to probably a Winnipeg. Okay. Okay. Next time then for flight from Saskatoon to Winnipeg. Thanks for watching. Bye.